Okay, so Eternal Empire is the next map here for Firesrets versus Luke. Firesrets with the 2-1 advantage. So only needs one game to secure a place in the semi-finals. Luke, however, the comeback has started and has got that game on the board, and hopefully we'll be feeling I've had a bit of confidence boost from that, and we'll be ready to take it to the decider. We will see. So Eternal Empire is the choice, and we've seen quite a few games on this map, so hopefully we're all kind of vaguely familiar with it by now. We know about the dangers of trying to fight into this choke point in particular. We know about the accessibility of the third to attacks and things like that. So yeah, as a map, I'll be honest, on this map I do tend to go up to 3 bases very rapidly indeed, because you can normally get away with it. So yeah, I would yeah, as Terran or Protoss, I think I would just be absolutely rinsing. I would be Gateway, Nexus, then Cyb, then probably Nexus, then Robo, personally. But that's just me, man. Don't listen to what I do. I'm not even any good. Firesrets, for reasons best known to himself, not building workers. Yeah, I find that like just mildly unforgivable. We're only a minute and a half into the game, and you've already forgotten to be building workers. You've got to build those workers. You've got to be building workers the whole time. The whole time with the workers, just building and building the workers, always building the workers. So Firesrets typically slightly quicker with the expand, and actually is going for the factory before an expo, and has got the engineering bay as well. It does seem to, it does seem to like an early engineering bay. Maybe he likes that security of being able to build a turret or whatever, and that's fine. Turrets are good. They protect you against oracles, they protect you against cloaked units like Dark Templars. They're good things. Let's have a look in Protoss land now that the side core has just finished up. We might get some idea of what the tech choice is going to be. Is it going to be, for example, Twilight? No, it is going to be a Stargate. So Luke didn't have a great deal of success in the last game with the Oracle. No, that's not to say he won't have this time round. Last time it was scouted, and Chaitin did get that turret finished up in time. But of course, in the later part of the game, Luke was very successful with the Sky Toss build with the sort of carriers and stuff. Again, we said, this is pretty much what happened in the last game, isn't it? The Zealot heads off across the map just as the Reaper comes in. And I don't know, after the last time, that Reaper being a bit of a pain. I mean, he did shut it down very successfully, but I'd still just prefer to have the Zealot at home. The Zealot across the map, I suppose if it turns up at just the right moment, there is a reasonable chance the Zealot on the other side of the map is going to get a delay on the Expo here, and he might well, because this Zealot could come in and kill the worker that's building that. So it looks like the probes on the other side of the map have managed to get us around. Chaitin presumably just distracted for a second there, but actually this Zealot is doing pretty well. No point trying to get through the top of the ramp, you're never going to get there, but it's going to just loosen up this command center. No chance really of a kill. Worst case scenario, Firesrets would have to cancel the build. The Marine can be obnoxious here. With a little bit of micro, you can come down the ramp, fire off a few rounds, convince the Zealot to chase you basically, and back all the way up to in behind the depot again and raise the depot, so you're fine. This is slightly annoying, because what it does mean, of course, is the siege tank. Now that the siege tank's out, it should be able to finish this up nicely. What this does mean is this whole time this expo is not being built. Actually, the splash damage from the siege tank doing quite a lot of damage to the CC, and oh my goodness, that is down to 29 health. That was pretty close. I'm not sure about the decision to siege up the tank. I think I'd have maybe just gone down the ramp with the Marine and the tank and just killed the Zealot that way. Would have been pretty embarrassing if you'd killed your own command center with the siege tank splash. Anyway, that massive delay caused by the Zealot has enabled Luke to get his expo up slightly faster, and with Chrono Boost onto Nexus, but he's not using this one. With Chrono Boost on the two Nexuses on these two buildings, means that you can saturate this mineral line pretty quickly and get a nice healthy economic advantage here. Now there is cloak being researched, and there is one Banshee already on the map. So Chaitin just repairing up that damaged command center now. He's going to be a bit behind economically, but could well redress the balance with a bit of a cloaked Banshee harass. You know, these couple of siege tanks in a good location. I'd like to see one of them move down here to sort of cover this, but you know, they're fine where they are. This is a pretty reasonably easy to defend location, so he can put some of his energies, his sort of attention and micro into controlling some cloaked Banshees and trying to get a bit of hurt done. There is nothing over here that offers detection, so the 4 Stargates that Luke is going straight for, if we saw an Oracle in production, we'd be away, because the Revelation spell that Oracles can cast, if you cast that on cloaked units, it does reveal them for the time of the spell, which is, you know, more than enough time to kill stuff. But there is not, I don't think, a Forge. There is not a Robo. So, and since there isn't already an Oracle in production, it does not look like we are going to see just mucking about with the zoom now and bad times. It doesn't look like we're going to see any detection. So actually these two Banshees could get quite a lot of work done. Now they're not at full energy, so they can't cloak forever. I'd be inclined to just run these workers away, make the Banshees chase, throw a few things in the mix with them, but importantly, and it is important, is in addition to that, start an Oracle, Chrono Boost it out, because you are going to need some detection pretty sharpish here. So, you know, start the things that will give you detection, start the Forge, start the whatever. Look with quite a lot of minerals in the bank, and the Stargates are finished up, the fleet beacon's finished up, but he isn't building very much from those Stargates, and I'm not sure why that is. He's quickly going to start running out of money if he doesn't replace these workers that he's losing. So it does run the workers away eventually. You know, personally, I'd be inclined to just run them back into the main, just continually run them backward and forward. And yeah, you'll lose quite a few of them, but you know, a few will survive as well. So the siege tanks and the bunkers see off the handful of zealots that went across the map pretty easily. These Banshees are looking for the workers, and the workers are just hiding over here. But you know, the bigger problem that I have is not the hiding of the workers, it's the lack of workers in production. You've only got 10 workers. Why aren't you building more workers? You need to be building them. And now that these Banshees are lower on energy, you know, really send this carrier across to escort. Try and keep these ones alive, but even more importantly than that, build new ones to replace them, because they're not going to replace themselves, are they? So with the Banshees following them, again, I would just continue to run those workers up into the main, keep the Banshees on the move. They can't shoot while they're moving. So one Banshee is now revealed, it's run out of energy, and they are going to have to retreat, but look, the worker count is 1. Literally 1, and the main reason for that, I mean, yeah, part of the reason is the Banshees killed them. I know, I'm not dumb, but you know, had you been building workers that whole time, had you been chronoing out workers the whole time that Banshee harass was happening, well, if you're chrono boosting 2 Nexuses in that time, you've built like 20 workers. You know, so even with all the Banshee losses, you'd still be on reasonable parity with your opponent. Unfortunately, though, that is not what happened. Now, 3, you know, I was saying it in the previous game, it's a numbers game. Is 3 carriers enough? I sort of feel like it isn't. I think the Thor and the Marines are just going to kill the interceptors too quickly. So Luke needs to be really careful here and keep these alive. Look, all the interceptors are gone, so that's why they're not shooting anymore. That's why this Thor on just 40 health has managed to survive, and he's going to chase this stuff down. You know, a few shots from the Thor could be bad here, but Luke needs to keep running, and still no workers in production at home. To be fair, he doesn't actually have any money. Yeah, so in the end, it looks like these cloaked Banshees, it doesn't look like Luke is going to be able to get back into this game. The income advantage is just far too large to overcome. This carrier has been left behind to die. The Cloak Banshees are still a threat, you know, one with 20 kills, the other with 18 kills. That is a horrible, horrible thing to see. And it looks like, wow, there it is, there is the GG. So it is Chayton then that goes up to 3-1 and has indeed secured his place in the semi-finals. GG.